Hey guys, and welcome back to Melons. So today I'm going to be testing out a new beauty sponge, hence why I have no makeup on. This is the sponge from Juno & Co. or June & Co. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. And it's actually like a microfiber sponge, which I thought was really interesting. And then when I felt it, I knew I had to do a video on it because it is the weirdest texture in the world. So I'm going to show you guys a close-up. So this is what, if my camera focuses. Come on, camera. So this is what the sponge looks like, and if you can tell, like when I press my fingers into it, it has like this like peach fuzz feeling to it. There's like these little tiny like soft velvety hairs, which I thought was really interesting. Sorry, my camera's taking a really long time to focus. I don't know why. So apparently what this sponge is supposed to do, or what the microfiber parts of the sponge is supposed to do, it's basically supposed to pick up less product. So you're not supposed to waste as much as like with a normal sponge. So we're gonna test that out today and see how that goes. We're just gonna dive right in. I'm gonna use the sponge, the sponge for everything that I possibly can. I have foundation and concealer, obviously. I have a cream bronzer, some cream highlight. So we're just gonna try everything, and then I have some brushes up there also that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna start off with priming my face today. I'm actually using a new primer. This is from Lune & Aster. It's a Real Glow Bronzing Primer. So this is for all skin types. It's supposed to create like a radiant finish. I don't know, I bought it at Bluemercury when I went there with my mom last weekend, and I was really excited to try it out. I had never seen this brand before, and the foundation I'm going to be using is a little bit too light for me, so I figured why not test out this bronzing primer. I have swatched it on my hand, and it feels like really soft, and it shears out to like almost nothing. There isn't like a ton of pigmentation to it once you rub it in, so we're just gonna go with it. Wow, my face is like turning beet red. My skin has been so sensitive recently. I don't know why, just has been. And I've really switched up what I've been using like skincare wise, and my skin has been clearing up so much. I'm really excited. I think I'm going to do like an updated skincare routine for you guys soon, because for some reason my skin has just been looking a lot better, and I think I just found products that I really love that really work well for me. So that's going to be coming up soon if you guys are interested. My fingers are bronze. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I'm looking at them and I'm like, whoa. So we will see how this goes. But I'm just going to pump out some of this foundation. I'm using the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. I haven't used this in forever, but this is a foundation that I find works really well with sponges, which is why I picked to use this today. The texture and the consistency of it just works really well with a sponge. So I'm just going to pump out a little bit. I did wet this sponge, but it didn't really like get damp like a beauty blender would. It kind of dried pretty quickly. Sorry, I'm using my beauty binder as a mirror because I forgot to grab one. So sorry if I'm like not looking in the lens. But anyway, so I dampened the sponge, but it doesn't really like stay damp feeling. I guess because of like the velvety texture, it kind of feels dry. But we're just gonna go in and see how this goes. I should have grabbed a mirror. So when I'm pouncing it on my skin, it feels like super dense, like the water is kind of stuck in the sponge. I don't know if I was supposed to wet it. There weren't really any instructions that came along with this sponge, but I just went for it because that's what I normally do. It's still like picking up like a decent amount of product, not as much as like my beauty blender would. Okay, grab my Target mirror because I could not see what I was doing. So here we go, we're gonna keep going. So far, like, it seems to be blending out pretty nicely. The foundation is blending out nicely. It's not like getting patchy on my skin at all. The foundation has like a medium-ish coverage. I wouldn't say that it's like completely full coverage at all. The eyes look scary. This color is like a little tad too light for me, which is why I use that bronzing primer. But in the viewfinder, it looks a lot lighter than it actually does on my face. So even though the sponge is like slightly dry, like it doesn't feel like damp, It's not making the foundation look patchy or cakey at all, which is a good thing. I'm interested to see what it does for my concealer. It definitely still picks up product, so I don't know if like that's really true, but this is also a very liquidy foundation, so maybe if you use more of like a cream foundation, that might. So this side, I feel like my skin looks a lot drier than this side does. Like this side looks really good and smooth. This side looks a little, right here, patchy and dry. But I do have a lot of dry patches like right here, so that could just be my skin, not necessarily the sponge. But yeah, other than that, the foundation does look pretty good. I'm going to put on some concealer now and blend that out with the sponge. This is the YSL All Hours concealer. I actually just stole this from my mom because she liked it, but not that much. So she was like, you can try it. And I was like, be careful because I'm gonna steal it. So we're just gonna apply a little bit of this under my eyes, on my eyelids as some primer, around my nose, and maybe in between my eyebrows a little. Alright, we're going to blend this out. I'm going to use this like tip of the sponge that has like this flat part. I feel like this would be really good to get in like the inner corner of the eye. So that is what I'm going to do. I will say I do really like the shape of this sponge. Oh yeah, it gets in there. I thought the bottom part like was big enough to pounce my foundation, but it didn't feel like too big. Sometimes I feel like sponges are too big and I feel awkward holding them, and I know that's like a really weird thing to say, but concealer is blending out really, really nicely. Actually, it looks really flawless. So that is concealer and foundation done. It did pick up not as much product as my beauty blender, but still like a decent amount of product, but definitely less than the beauty blender. It blended everything out pretty nicely. I will say it did get patchy a little bit in between my eyebrows. I don't really know why. That was just kind of random, but once I went back over it, it kind of evened it out a little bit. That just initial like padding kind of moved the concealer around weirdly, but underneath my eyes it looks really nice and natural. It doesn't look dry, it doesn't look cakey. Again, it only really looks dry like here and then a little bit around my nose because those are the driest areas on my face at the moment. But yeah, so far so good. I think let's move on to like some creamy products, some bronzer and highlighter, and see how those work. I will say, like, I like the way it looks. I don't know if I wish it held on to a little bit more of the dampness so it would sheer everything out a little bit more. That's one of my favorite things about using sponges, is you can kind of sheer it out. I like a really light coverage, but this doesn't really do that. This kind of stays true to the actual foundation and concealer. So if you are someone who doesn't like the wet beauty blenders or sponges shearing things out, you'll probably really like this product. But moving on, I'm actually going to powder a little bit. This is the Glossier Powder. I'm just going to put a little bit of this under my eyes because they can tend to get creasy very easily. And I'm literally just dusting like the tiniest amount. I don't use a lot of powder on my face for obvious reasons. I will say I do really like this primer, how it's sitting underneath the foundation. It added just this really nice warmness to my skin, but it still looks like dewy and glowy. Anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my Milk Makeup Baked Bronzing Stick thing. This is my favorite cream bronzer slash contour. I use it as both. So I'm just going to apply this and then blend it out with the sponge because that's what I would normally do. I'm honestly going to slather my face in this because I love this stuff. Bronzer is like my favorite thing in the world. That might have been a little too much. Okay, we're gonna put the bronzer down. Just stop. I go way too crazy with the bronzer. So I'm gonna take the side of the sponge. Actually, this seems like it'll be really good to like carve out the cheekbones a little bit and kind of blend this out, hopefully. So it's blending out pretty nicely. It's actually creating like a very nice, like flawless finish to this product. I mean, this product looks nice on my skin anyway. I love this bronzer. But I will say a lot of times when I use a brush or a different sponge with this product, it shears it out a lot, which I tend to enjoy. But this is definitely staying more true to color or pigment. And it's, I mean, it's not picking up too much. It picked up like a tiny bit, but nothing horrible. So I think if you are someone who doesn't like that beauty sponges shear out products, this will definitely be a product that you will enjoy, because it definitely does not shear them out as much as a beauty sponge, which could be a good or bad thing, depending on your preference. I actually kind of love the way this is blending out this bronzer though. I wish it had sheared out the foundation a little bit more, but I like that it's not shearing out this bronzer, because then I might not have to go over it with a powder, which, whoa. Normally I always go over cream products and powders just to intensify them, especially bronzer. I love warming up my skin. Bronzer is one of my favorite products, as I've said. So I can go a little heavy-handed, but you know, that's just how I like to wear my makeup. I like to look sun-kissed and glowy all the time, even in the dead of winter, like it is now. Although it's March or April, it's April now. It should be getting warm out, and it is just not. It is still pretty cold. It's getting a little bit better, but I still want a nice spring day. I wish I had a more exciting life, because I really want to start like vlogging for you guys, like doing like a weekly vlog. I don't know if you guys watch Alana Davison. I talk about her all friggin' time, but I love her weekly vlogs. I think they're just so fun and so cool to see like that she's just like a normal person. Like, I don't know, sometimes I forget like these YouTubers are normal people and they have like normal things to do with their lives. So I just think they're really fun, and I wish I did more things that I could like vlog and show you guys, but really you would just see me sitting in my bed doing freelance work and filming videos. So really that's all I do. Alright, I kind of want to set this with powder, bronzer. Why is my camera not focusing? Focus. We're just gonna do it. So this is what it looks like. This is the diffused version of Laguna. I don't really know what that means, but it looks really pretty on the skin. I've been really enjoying it, so we're just gonna lightly dust this on the cheeks. Probably should have done my cream highlighter before I did this, but you know, we're just gonna go with it. I always feel like I bronze this side more than I bronze this side. I'm left-handed, so I think I just like favor my left side, but whatever. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with this I don't know, I got this in a Sephora Play a while back. This is what it looks like. It's just like this pretty highlighting crayon. I keep telling myself I want to use this because it swatches so incredibly, but I just haven't used it yet. So I thought today would be the perfect opportunity. I'm just going to slather this on my cheek. It is so gorgeous. Whoa, I did not blend in my bronzer well over here. Alright, so we will be doing that as well. I'm literally just going to put this everywhere. Okay, so now this is a less creamy product. It's not as creamy as the bronzer, so I'm interested to see how the sponge blends it out. Also, I have some massive non-blended bronzer going on the side of my head. So we're just gonna fix that. Alright, so I'm just gonna tap over this with the sponge. It doesn't need to be blended too much because it did just like blend in with my skin really nicely, but there are a little bit of harsh edges. That looks so pretty. Why do I not use this more? It looks like very natural on the skin, but in the camera it looks like blinding. It looks so beautiful. Oh, this is gonna go in my favorites drawer. I will say I think some of the sponge kind of rubbed off when I was blending in my bronzer on my nose. It kind of rubbed off some of the foundation and my redness is peeking through. But that could have been the product or the sponge, not really sure. Never really had that problem before. But my nose is a tricky situation. I have a lot of texture there, so you never know what's gonna happen. I really like this highlight. It looks so pretty. This will be really nice in the summer. I've been like really into using cream products recently, mostly because my skin has been pretty dry and I just feel like they look more natural on my skin at least. So I've been really enjoying them, but I'm just gonna set this over with my Essence Pure Nude just to kind of give it a little oomph, because I like my highlight. And this too is like a very natural highlight. It's not like super blinding, but I think layered over top of this, whoa, it's going to kick up the intensity just a little bit. All right. So I'm just going to finish up the little bits of my makeup for you guys, and then I will share my final thoughts on the sponge. And I'm going to try and use some of these brushes too. So I have this new Burt's Bees blush in Toasted Cinnamon. I had been seeing Kathleen Lights talk about this so freaking much, and I wanted it so badly, but I could not find it anywhere. Literally was sold out everywhere that I would look for it. I cannot get this open. And then I finally found it. I live in New Jersey, and we have a Wegmans pretty close to us. Some of you may know what that is, some of you may not. It's just like a giant grocery store. It's like a really nice grocery store. It's like really cool. And they actually have a really good makeup selection, and that is where I found this. So if you were interested, I know a lot of places it's been sold out forever. So if you guys have a Wegmans near you, go check it out. They had the whole Burt's Bees line, which I was really excited about because I hadn't seen the makeup in another store. Like I saw it online and stuff, but sorry, that was a really difficult sticker to get off. So this is what the color looks like, if it'll focus. There we go. So this is the color. It's just like a very warm, naturally peachy bronze shade, I guess. Gonna swatch it for you guys. There it is. It looks really beautiful. I'm really excited to try this. Yes, I forgot a makeup wipe, so I still have foundation on my hand. I'm going to use this angled fluffy powder brush and just tap this in here. Oh my god, I picked up way too much product. Just gonna go in really light-handed. This is why I am not good at applying blush, because I always use way too much. So I'll just give like a very natural flush to the apples of my cheeks. I think it like blends in really nice with the bronzer. Yeah, I really like that. Alright, I've been trying to like branch out and try and use more blush, because I know I don't really use it that often, but it's one of those things where like I just use bronzer. I just put bronzer on my cheeks, but I'm really trying to branch out, get out of my comfort zone. So I actually really like that. Alright, so I'm just going to throw on a little bit of mascara, and then I will share my final thoughts with you guys on this sponge. So let's do this quickly. Oh, I need a mirror. I'm just going to throw on the Maybelline Total Temptation. I've been like religiously switching between this one and the Lancome Monsieur Big, my two favorites. The only mascaras that I use now. Alright, I'm just going to keep my lashes pretty natural today because I'm not going anywhere, let's be real. So I'm just going to stick with this on the eyes, and I'm just going to throw on the Glossier Generation G lipstick in Cake quickly because my lips feel dry. Alright, so I do really like this, but I feel like the packaging feels so cheap. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that Glossier. But anyway, that's not why we're here. So, final thoughts on this sponge. I think it was definitely a very interesting product. It felt really nice and soft on the skin. I don't personally love that it didn't hold a lot of water, so that it didn't sheer out my products, because I like that sheared out look. I like that the Beauty Blender shears out foundations, shears out cream products. That's kind of what I like to go for in my makeup. But if you're someone who doesn't like that about normal sponges, you'll definitely love that this product doesn't do that. I do like the fact that it didn't pick up a ton of product. Like, it still looks, minus the bottom, but it still looks like pretty decently clean. I would still clean it after using it, but it makes me feel like I'm wasting less product. I am going to zoom you guys in quickly so you can see what my skin looks like close up. Okay, so zoomed you guys in a lot. As you can see on my cheeks, like, it actually looks really good and flawless. I don't know if you can tell, but under my nose it looks a little dry, and like on my forehead right here, let me see, it looks like a little patchy. The light might be too bright, so it might be like washing it out. But I can tell that it's like patchy right here. Like I said, my nose still looks really red. I feel like it pulled up some foundation, and on this side it looks super dry right here. But overall, I actually kind of like this. I feel like if I was going for more of like a full coverage look and didn't want to sheer my makeup out as much as like a beauty blender does, I definitely would reach for this. Let me zoom you guys back up. That's in. That's in. I definitely think there are pros and cons to this product, and that really just depends on personal preference. I definitely think it's an interesting and very cool product. It's unlike any other beauty sponge I've ever used before, and I definitely think if you are someone who doesn't like the shearing out of other sponges, you'll definitely enjoy this. Again, they're super affordable. You might be seeing one in a giveaway soon because they did send us some extra ones, so we're gonna throw one in there. But yeah, so I think overall I'd give this product a thumbs up. I do think it's like an interesting product, and for only like $3 or $4 you really can't go wrong. I think it does perform well, and it's just like really interesting. I don't know, I can't get over this like peach fuzziness. But yeah, so definitely a thumbs up from me. Lynn has been testing it out too, and I will see if I can get some thoughts on it from her and put it in the description box for you guys. But yeah, so that was all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button that's somewhere here. And I will see you in our next video. Bye guys.